Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and this is going to be my top 5 horror movie list and recommendations for the month of January. Now, I normally do 2 honorable mentions and a top 5, and I tell you guys how many movies I watched. I'm not really going for anything this year. I'm not going for the 100. I'm not going for the 1,000. I already did that. Been there, done that. And I've had some family issues lately. Again, this year hasn't started out the best, of course. Don't know why it would have, but you can always hold out hope, I guess. But yeah, um, yeah. So I did watch 69 movies this month. Um, the one I watched that I did not own uh, at the time, if that's a little bit of a hint, is the new Candyman film. So, but I'll leave it at that. My first honorable mention is The House with Laughing Windows. This to me had a really cool story. This is a giallo, and it was one that kind of flew under the radar for me a little bit. I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed the story behind it. It's um, about a guy who restores artwork, and he goes to this church. And when he does, he's warned that if you stay there and complete this job, you're going to die. And that's pretty much where I'm going to leave it. I don't want to get too much into it. But this is a fantastic giallo. One that's actually really highly recommended by a lot of people. It just flew under my radar. So now I'm recommending it to you guys. And that's The House with Laughing Windows. All right, my second honorable mention is Spiral from the Book of Saw. This almost made my top 5, but just missed by a little teeny bit. I did enjoy this. I do have one con for the movie, and I'll probably do a review eventually. And I probably have to re-rank the Saw movies now because this is the newest one. If you consider this a Saw movie, which I do. My one con for the film was it kind of felt like Chris Rock was doing an impersonation of Chris Rock sometimes, and the jokes fell a little flat for me. But other than that, fantastic. Who done it? Um, I did guess who the killer was. I guessed it fairly early, and surprised that I was actually right because these movies usually throw me for a little bit of a loop at the end. But that is Spiral from the Book of Saw. Hey, at least I finally saw it, right? Okay, coming in at number 5 is a movie I reviewed from Bayview Films. This is fantastic. This is called Entombed, and this is a very small cast in a very isolated kind of claustrophobic sort of areas. Most of it takes place in a bomb shelter, and it's just a fantastic film. Wasn't really sure what to expect, but there's this tension that builds throughout this film, and you're always waiting for the other shoe to drop, and that is very hard to do on film and to get that constant tension. So this is a definite recommendation. This did make their top 10 list, I believe, for 2021. Yeah, Entombed. Fantastic low budget movie. All right. This is what I was hinting at earlier. Coming in at number 4 is Candyman. I really enjoyed this film. I do think the messaging is a little heavy handed in it, and I could have done with a little bit less of the hatred. But I really enjoyed it. I thought that the actress did a fantastic job. And well, I don't want to say anything else because I don't want to give away anything to people who haven't seen it. It's still fairly new, I guess. But yeah, I rented this on Redbox and went out and bought it within the week. So that's how much I liked it. And it was a gradual thing. Like I liked it when I first saw it, but the more I thought about it, the more I liked it. So yeah. And that is Candyman. This was actually originally an honorable mention for me, but it made it to number 4. Who knows? If I'd have let it go a little bit further, maybe it would have been more. All right. Coming up at number 3 is Monsters. God, I feel stupid saying that title. Hopefully this is the last time. I thought this movie was fantastic. The creatures I thought were really cool. And while the characters were very, very unlikable for the most part, it it was very believable for me. So yeah, I really enjoyed this film. I did do this for What's in the Bag, Jay. So if you want to hear a more thorough review on it, go check out my review. I think it's week number 3 or episode 3, if I'm not mistaken. It's either episode 3 or 4. Okay, coming in at number 2. This I reviewed because I kind of, I was an asshole and I jumped the gun. And Joe, the horror man, voted for this, and Hobbs voted for this as well. And this was the first time this movie had been voted for, so I was pretty sure it wasn't going to get voted for, so I went ahead and did the next video because I like to stay ahead of the game. But they voted for it. And God, I'm glad they did. This movie is fantastic. This movie is not going to be a horror movie for a lot of people, although it does get into some pretty trippy stuff towards the end. This was a horror movie for me. This is a very tough subject matter, in my opinion, and it triggers me in some ways. Fantastic film. And one of the things I actually wanted to say on the video, and I'm going to be cryptic, and I forgot to say on my review, was that the laws on suicide, apparently in Norwegian, unless they just made it up for this movie, the life insurance laws for suicide in Norway are different than they are here. And I'm going to leave it at that. So, yeah. Exit Plan. Fantastic film. Which leaves number 1. Anybody who's been watching my videos, this shouldn't be a big surprise. We have Body Puzzle. Another giallo, and to be honest with you, this one is one of my absolute favorites. When Berto Bava knocked it out of the park, he took everything I knew and punched me in the face, swept the carpet out from under me, and I was just sitting there like a moron because I was like, what the hell just happened? Very well done, very interesting story that it seems like you know what's happening, but you don't really know. And that's what kind of blew my mind on it. So, yeah. Quick review. Body Puzzle at number 1. Fantastic movie. Loved it. Exit Plan. Great movie. I'm not going to say this title again. Monster. See, I just did. Let's see. Candyman at number 4. Entombed at number 5. Thank you, Bayview. Spiral as an honorable mention. And The House with Laughing Windows. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.